remodeling, sort of doing some remodeling here. Jeff said he's coming on at 8:05 sharp, and he didn't give me time to get finished with all of my stuff, but I'm going to talk about some things tonight been happening last week at the beginning here. Guys, I'm on YouTube. I was on Instagram. I'm back on Instagram now. That's how come I'm sending out friend request. Kind of link up with me on Instagram. I lost that account. I choose not to pay the ransom. I'll talk about that more in a minute. So if you guys had me on Instagram, go back in and get me again. It's Short Porch baseballcompany.com. No, Short Porch Baseball Company, not .com. How you guys doing? See, I can read the text right now. I can read everybody's text. It's probably going to go away here in a minute. But anyway, got to talk to you guys on stuff that's been happening and how to avoid it a little bit. Not too much, because there's nothing we can do too much about that. How you doing, Roger? But YouTube, I'm on TikTok, I'm on X. I got all those accounts going. I'm streaming on 3 different accounts tonight. Instagram will be added later. I just got that account going today. And if you guys lost me on Instagram, go back and re-friend me or ask to join. It's Short Porch Baseball Company is the name of it. I had to change it. What happened, and I got that membership channel too on that YouTube. What happened about 6-7 days ago, I had got on a lot of trying to expand social media, and I'd got on a lot of these, places where I can expand the social media part of what we're doing, because we want to get the word out. And I guess somebody hacked my account on Instagram and shut it down actually 7-8 days ago. And as I was talking on the podcast last Wednesday, stuff started coming up, and it was saying, is this you? Is this you? And taking pictures of my Instagram page. I didn't answer them. And then like a day before, I had got a ransom note that said, I have your Instagram account. I've got your Instagram account. It cost me $100 to get it back. Well, I don't do that. It's not that important to me. I'll just start it back up again and take my time doing it again. And I did not pay the money. And about 3-4 days later, I got another text message. The one said, I have your Instagram account, $100 to get it back. I didn't reply. And then Thursday, last Thursday, I said, are you paying or not? And I didn't reply back to them again. I'm not paying. I don't care what you have or what you say you have. I'm not paying. And then I got another one that said they hacked my computer. Well, I took my computer, and $250 later, I took my computer into the Geek Squad over at Best Buy, and they were like, no, we cleaned it up a little bit, but you don't have anybody that got on there, hacked anything. I'm like, okay. And then they were asking for $500 Bitcoin to this account. And I'm like, no. And then they were threatening, we'll send these pictures. You have pictures. We've seen the websites you've been watching. Well, I know that's an effing lie, because I don't watch those websites. And and then today, and then last night, it's kind of weird. I guess there's a group of these people out there. Last night I got this text message from Canada and said, yo, did anything particularly excite you today? And I'm like, what the hell? And I never, I reported it as junk, and that was yesterday. Actually, yeah, last night at 9:15. Like, did anything excite you today? And I'm like, what the hell is this? And I showed my wife, and she didn't think anything of it. And then all of a sudden I get this, and I know few of you guys have got this, but I was tagged in a porn video today, and it wasn't a video; it was just a picture, and it was bad. It was very bad, uh, and I immediately reported it and blocked it. And I guess that's what they were talking about last night. And these guys want ransom money, I guess, and for all that stuff to leave them alone. And here's the deal, guys, you know, because I'm on that business page on the Facebook and on Instagram, and I don't understand why Meta can't do anything about that shit, or how come they just keep letting that shit go. You know, shut down the account, started a new one, so give it a try again. But then again, all the people that you got from that Instagram account, I got to get a hold of them and ask them to join back up again. And there's things you can do right now that will actually make it, you know, more security because of the facial thing. To get your account, this doesn't even work. To get your account back on Instagram, because I had so many pictures of me in there. I had so many pictures of me in there. What you do is you do a selfie, and they take that, Meta will take that, and they'll put it in your Instagram and know, okay, this is really him. Let's go and give him the account back. Well, that didn't even work, you know. Then they said it didn't even look like me. I've got hundreds of pictures, and I lost all those. All those pictures on Instagram are gone. You can't get them back. All because somebody will make $100. And here's the deal: you pay them. If you pay them, they're going to be asking you for money. I don't get that. Or they're going to crack you again later on for $100. I just don't pay it. I'd rather just build the channel back up. So if you guys can get on there and do it, I've tried everything, and then you have, you know, and then I'm keeping an eye on everything else that I have to make sure it hasn't been hacked, because I think I got 7 or 8 platforms that I'm running with, and hopefully they'll be added onto the live stream that we're doing right now. But here you go. Suncoast, Patty Albright was sharing, I guess she was, because what Patty does, and Patty does a service to a lot of, that's what I like about Patty. She's just not one focused on what company. She doesn't like bat scammers, and she actually is administrator to one of my pages, Senior Softball Buy, Sell, and Trade. Martin Long has one at Senior Softball Buy, Sell, and Trade too, but he's got a lot of followers on his. But Patty is in charge of mine. I think she said the other day she charged like 20 plus pages that she actually goes through and actually monitors. And what she does is take screenshots of the scammers who she says, you know, that she's pretty good at doing this. And she's screenshots them and puts them out there. Well, I guess one of the scammers got pissed off at her on Facebook and reported her. And guess what? She lost her Facebook page. All those people that rely on Patty, you know, because Patty has a couple of jobs, but one of her biggest thing is she sells Suncoast. So they took her down because we reported her. Now she's got to, and I've done this, guys. I lost my account last year because of the same shit. Somebody was pissed and they reported me last year and a half ago, excuse me. And I had 4,900 friends, and I had to rebuild that. It took me a year to rebuild that back up again. That's how long it takes to get all those friends back. And then when I was friend requesting them, they said, this ain't you because I'm already friends with you. No, that was the one that got taken. And they never told me why my account got taken down last year. How come? And I didn't post anything. Patty was posting pictures of people, scammers, and the scammers got pissed because she was calling them out and probably reported her. I guarantee you that's what happened. But she lost all those, didn't lose, but it's just so hard to, you know, and she was telling me the other day too, that she had group texts with all of her family on Facebook that they would just talk, and she lost all that too, all the pictures, and she's still trying to get it back, you know, this happened about 2 days ago, but she's still trying to get it back. So that's this effed up part about doing this. You piss somebody off and they can just complain about one little thing, or somebody gets upset about something. And usually somebody is, so if they're not trying to scam you for money, they're trying they're pissed off at you because you put a bad review out. You know what happened to me a year and a half ago, and they don't like what I'm having to say about something. And Patty, they don't like that she's calling these people out for scammers, and they're pissed off because they didn't make their money. And then all of a sudden they report her, and guess what? They take her down for doing a service to everybody else out there. And I think that's kind of bullshit that they do that. And I won't last too long. But if you guys have me, I got a new Instagram channel. I posted it on Facebook today, and I actually put the little, the link to it up on top. Like, go to it and just friend me on that. Or I don't think they friend. They just join it. It's actually a business Instagram. My last one wasn't. Maybe Meta will actually take better care of me, because my Facebook is a business and my Instagram is a business too. So maybe that'll take care of that shit. Dude, I don't know. It's just pissing when somebody says that they have all of your photos and they've been monitoring you and watching what you see. I start laughing like, I don't watch anything that's bad. So you ain't got shit. Hunting channels, car channels. I work on my own vehicle. So I will learn I just put a starter in my son's Jeep. I actually took it out today. Gonna put it in tomorrow. I do all that. I do all of my stuff on YouTube is mechanic stuff, or getting right into it right now, watching all the other reviews. So you ain't got shit like bad stuff on that. I mean, I was talking about other guys' reviews. What we had decided, with Show Porch is what we would talked about, getting more of the bat review people involved in this, because we do have a very big platform with the seniors, and we're going into the U-Trip market, because we do have U-Trip bats, if you guys didn't know that. But with analytics, guys, and we've never been this huge, I guess, in the past. Not even with Senior Softball Bat Reviews did I pull up numbers that I'm gonna tell you about today. Especially with the shorts that we've been putting out. And I think the shorts are going to take off, because the shorts are little clips, 30 seconds average, 45 seconds average. And they talk about topics that you guys want to hear. And I have somebody I have a company, an app that actually is putting them together with analytics and getting them into the algorithms and, those bullet points called tags that you have out there that they can put in there. And I actually think it's beneficial for everybody out there if they're going to do what we do, or into that social media, even the bat review people out there to get involved with it, is, especially with that blowing up, what we're gonna start doing is getting a lot more people involved because of our platform. We're a big voice, guys, not only with Show Porch, but we're a big voice with a lot of the seniors out there. And the one thing I do want to talk about too is, before I get into the bat reviewers, one thing I do want to talk about too is we are mainly, whenever we're doing, I think, because me and Jeff talked about this, the way we separate, the U-Trip from the senior, because seniors market is totally different. You can't take a U-Trip bat and introduce it to a senior and then expect the seniors to believe anything about that. So what I'm trying to say is your seniors are a totally different market and a totally different mindset. So what we believe is we got to go deeper when it comes to seniors because of barrel flex. I'll talk about that here in a minute. So when we do seniors, when it comes to this, we got to we got to talk it different than we would with the U-Trip market. Now we're going in a different direction with the U-Trip market, and we're getting people involved that can do their own podcast with that U-Trip market. And U-Trip and ASA are going to kind of go together. And then you have a fast pitch market that we're going to get into later on, and have somebody that's going to take care of that, not necessarily me. Because, guys, when it comes to senior bats, I've been doing this for 15 years. I kind of know the ends about it. And barrel flex, handle flex. When we talk about the movement, when we talk about this movement, I don't think this movement's going to change. This movement's going to change a little bit when it comes to U-Trip and ASA, and even when it comes to seniors. Now, when it comes to fast pitch bats, baseball bats, the movement's going to change a little bit. Now we're looking at different types of areas to go attack, because seniors, what you have is you have seniors that have gotten into their 40s, late 40s, early 50s, because I really don't think I remember hitting with aluminum bat at 42 years old and still hitting them pretty good at 42 years old with an aluminum bat. So I think when you get into that market of the 50s, let's say 50s, 50, 55, 60, what happens to seniors, they have diminishing bat speed. So you can't put them in that same category as a U-trip, right? So that's got to be separated. So when we go into long detail about handle flex, we talk about barrel flex, we talk about weight distribution, all that ties into what we're trying to push here. I got 15 minutes, and I'm going to try to explain all of this in 15 minutes. So what we're doing with seniors is trying to explain to them about injuries, right? Because we don't swing. I don't care who you are. You're not at 55, 60, you're not swinging like you did at 25 or 30. So you got diminishing bat speed. You have muscle aches, muscle pains. You have injuries, right? So you have to swing a different bat than what other people that are healthy doing anything else with, or these other bat companies are coming. So you got to be explained about barrel flex. So that's what we do. We want to educate a lot of people out there. The one thing I will on the newcomers that are coming to this, because we got newcomers all the time, and we're blowing up, guys. We're going through the roof. I'll kind of go through the analytics probably when after Jeff comes on, or right when he comes on. I'll go about the analytics when it comes to what we're doing and how big we're getting, and that has a lot to do with the people that we have that are associated with us. So if you're new to the channel, and I'm going to kind of go through this little spiel. If you guys are new to the channel, the movement is everybody watching this video, everybody watching this video, there's numbers that you have to have. And you ladies too. I will say this, guys, and I went through analytics, 21% watching these videos right here are ladies. It used to be 9%, 8%. On YouTube, it's down to like 5%, but now we're at 21%. So the ladies are now getting involved. All the ladies are getting involved right now because they want to know about handle flex, barrel flex, bat speed. So that when you come on here, guys, there's things that you have to understand that in this senior market that we have, those senior that we're talking about. If you guys are swinging U-trip, this is not necessarily to you, because you can pick up anything and swing it, and you're going to get great performance on it. But there's some things. There's what's the compression of the bat that fits your swing? Okay, the compression level. What is the bat you're going to get the best performance on in that compression? I will say this: any other bat company out there, that actually is going to be a short window. When you get into Kevlar, the window is going to open up a little bit because of response from the Kevlar. When you get into that, I'm going to say 160 to 180 range, 80, 90 range, because I'm talking about seniors here, not talking about you triple ASA guys, talking about seniors here. So when you get into that window with a Kevlar, it's actually wider. With any other composite, even our old composite, it actually shortens up a little bit. So everybody, the ladies and the men that are out there, you have to have in your mind what that number is with the Zoc composite from the last bats that we had to the Kevlar composite that we have right now, the hybrid. I call it a hybrid Kevlar. You have to have those numbers, and those numbers that are going to stick with you for a long time. If you're sticking with that same bat company, you change bat companies, that's going to change a little bit on you. Because the barrel response, because of different material. They don't use the same material that we use. So yes, definitely. Bat speed, you have to have your bat speed. If you don't have your bat speed, you got to have your exit velo number. And you can kind of determine what your bat speed is by an exit velo number too. So, and it's not going to be exact when it comes to that, but that'll get you there pretty close. So you got to have bat speed. At one point, your bat speed's not going to diminish. If you guys pick it up right now, let's say you're 50, 55, 60, your bat speed's not going to diminish that much unless you have an injury. If you have a bad shoulder, you pull the shoulder, you pull something, you pull the hamstring, anything that's going to have diminishing bat speed, which until you get well, you might go to a softer barrel. So your bat speed's going to diminish a little bit because of the injury. That's what we're trying to push here. Because we're doing seniors, what you guys don't, when too many guys get out there, so you think too much into it. No, this is seniors. This is how it works with seniors. So we're actually thinking for the seniors, because they had been forgotten for the last, that I can remember, for the last, since I've been doing this. Senior bats weren't senior bats. Too hard of a barrel, I thought. Back in the day, weight distribution numbers on. Somebody said the other day, what they said the other day, light bats versus heavy bats. What's your take on it? You're thinking about it the wrong way when it comes to seniors about light and heavy. It should be weight distribution, not what's heavy and what's light. Because we can build a bat that's a little lighter than a heavy bat, because with weight distribution on it, you're going to get better performance out of that bat. Let's say you have different barrel flex, bat speeds. So that's that one size fits all kind of shit that I see every once in a while, and I want to reply to it. Now, if you're talking about U-Trep bats, that's totally different. You still got weight distribution numbers in there that you have to go by, but I just want to, what we're educating people here on is, the senior market, bat speed that's been diminishing. Exit velo numbers, bat speed definitely one, and then weight distribution, guys. The way I say that you get your weight distribution is this: if you have somebody out there, if you have a bat out there, and you love this bat's badass bat, but maybe it died on you, you need to find out what that weight distribution on that bat is, and then those are your numbers. So you need to pick a bat on those weight distribution numbers that is a high-tech barrel bat, with that new technology. And I'm just going to talk for Shore Porch here. Get a Kevlar bat, has those weight distribution numbers, find out what the flex on the barrel is. Does it start off at a 220 compression, or does it start off at a 225 or 230 compression? That's a big difference there too. You need to understand. You guys with that diminishing bat speed, you ladies should always swing a 200 compression bat. All you guys that diminishing bat speed, all you ladies out there, 200 compression. You guys with that little better bat speed, you're going to get a 220, 225, 230 in that area right there. Now, we are going to put those numbers up on the website. So you're going to see a little compression, where they do the compression. It's going to have a mark on it. That's going to be on that bat you're going to purchase from Shore Porch. That's going to be that number right there on what that bat starts off brand new in the wrapper. So those are things that you guys have to understand. But get back to what I'm talking about, because I'll probably be talking about when Jeff calls, is what we want to do is, that's the movement, what I just talked about. But what we want to do is, and I thought Jeff, me and Jeff talked about this a week ago, is we want to get a lot of the bat reviewers and talk to them, introduce them, because of our platform. They introduce them to everybody out there when it comes to seniors, when it comes to U-Trip, when it comes to ASA. We'll bring in the fast pitch people later on, because there is fast, even the baseball ones that later on, where there is those fast pitch. And then you have it's got to be, Jeff said this, it's got to be separated. Everything's got to be, it just can't be that one size fits all when it comes to senior, because that's what I do. I talk about the seniors, but that's what I've been doing for 15 years. You come to talk to me about a U-Trip bat, and I can give you some numbers. Maybe I can test your bat speed. I can get you in that range, but not narrowed up like the other guys that we're going to have coming on the podcast. Marcus will be coming on in the podcast. We're going to have all the top guys. Fat Guy Adam, Fat Guy BP is going to come on here. I'd like to get all the guys. I'd like to get Jesse on here too, because he's been doing it damn near as long as I have. You have the guys that are seasoned bat reviewers, because I think this is just me going forward in the future. If you guys out there, and I'll say this, if you guys out there and you have, and guys, and I'm not going to talk about any other bat companies, but I've talked to engineers. I've talked to engineers in the last 15 years. I bet I've talked to, I have a number. I bet I've talked to 15 engineers in the last 15 years. The majority of them don't do that bro science. They don't do that. They have a formula in their mind. But the only way to test that formula, if you do the bro science. The bro science is the part where you have this, somebody talks to you about something, you make it, and then you take it out and you actually do it with humans in it, right? You don't have a machine, you don't have a robotic that actually is testing that bat. You don't have the compression. Yeah, they have all that, but now you put it in somebody's hands that actually and is in that one area that their specialty is in, right? So I talked to 15 in the last 15 years. I talked to Marcus, right? Because we talked, in the last 5-6 years, me and Marcus have talked. Me and Adam has talked. I've talked to them numerous times. They know more shit. These guys that are big BP, I've talked to Jesse. Those guys know more shit than any of the actual engineers that I've talked to, right? They know more shit, and we bounce stuff off of each other, and I'm like, wow, that's with Marcus. That's talk to him and Adam. I said, damn, that's pretty good. And then we start talking about bat speed a little bit too, back in the day. But why wouldn't any, like what Short Porch did? Why wouldn't any of these guys, any of these big companies, instead of having an engineer in there, why wouldn't they pick up a bat reviewer? And the bat reviewer would be number one in the line to actually get hired. Kind of like what Short Porch did, right? Why? Because Dave Velasquez has swung a shit ton of bats in 15 years. So what you have is these other bat companies that swing one bat. Take this bat. They have engineers that actually get out there and have their people swing it. They have their signature players swing it. Well, how many bats have their signature players swung? Okay. I would take Marcus's. I would take Adams. I would take Jesse's opinion more than I would theirs because they're biased for one. Put that bat in Marcus's hand. Put that bat in Jesse's hands. Put that bat in Fat Guy. But Adam's hand. I'm sorry if I keep calling you Fat Guy, but a lot of people know you as Fat Guy BP. So those guys would give you better feedback. And Jeff will sit there and tell you the same thing too. Why did I get you? Because you swung more bats than anybody else. You get better feedback from you. Why don't these other bat companies go out and to pursue those guys, hire those guys to build their shit? That's the part where I'm like, okay, let's do this. Jeff talked about this. Jeff's the one who mentioned this. Let's get those guys coming on weekly podcasts. Let's pick their brain. Let's talk to them, not pick their brain, but let's talk to them where they came from. How many bats did they swung? And I want to have Marcus on next week. If he's on here watching, I want to have you on next week. Give me about 15 minutes, Marcus. Give me about, 20 minutes, as long as you want to talk. And then I'll have a bunch of things I want to ask you about. And it's not nothing. It's just like bats that you swung, because your swing is different than my swing. Right. Then you got Adam. I don't want to bring Adam next week or two. Big Ben after that. I want to have a schedule on all these guys coming up on podcasts and talk to them, because I think these guys serve a purpose out there. They work their ass off, and they are probably some of the best guys to take advice from when it comes to building bats. So why not get these guys on here? And I know they're not going to tell everything, because I never did. I know they're going to tell everything about what they know. I've asked them questions in the last 5 since they've been at it. I've actually asked them. I'm friends with a lot of them. So I think that once we get them guys going and then talk, because in my opinion, they get shit on for something that they're giving a service out for a lot of people, because I know that they're getting shit on, because I've heard they're getting shit on. And then I knew that I got shit on because of my opinion wasn't the same as someone else's opinion that actually was a factory hitter for that other company that I actually didn't talk well about. So what I want to do with Short Porch, when I say I'm talking about Short Porch, what we want to do is we want to get these guys on and talk to them. Let they do. Marcus does different than Adam, right? Jesse does different than Marcus. I mean, these guys can sit there and talk about balls. They can talk about, somebody was saying, talking about Marcus, or talking about Marcus on what kind of balls he was hitting. Talking about Adam, what kind of balls were they hitting? Me. I'd have to show them the balls that I'm hitting the whole time, It's just that I want to get them on here to talk about, ask them different things. You know, what kind of balls are you hitting? And that way we get the word out there, because these guys actually, in my opinion, should be picked up by a lot of bat companies out there. There's 24 bat companies out there right now. And a lot of these bat companies do not know what they're doing when it comes to engineers, because they don't have that guy out there that swung 300 different models of bats. And all those models of bats have weight distribution that is different. I'm telling you right now, they all do. Weight distribution is different. You have different barrel flex, different handle flex. Marcus tends to like a better stiffer handle. I tend to that's how come I'm talking about the bat review people all need to be looked at. They all need to be, because all of them are different. All of them are different. They all serve a purpose, right? We talked about this. Might as well apply it. We talked about this. It's not no one size fits all. So if you're out there watching all these bat review guys out there talk, and then you go, hey, my swing's a lot like his, you know, I need to listen to him. Or maybe I'm going to go over here and talk to Adam, because, you know, I want to listen to what Adam and make my own judgment on what I want to swing. And then I think going forward, where we get up here and talk for an hour and a half. We're into it 31 minutes already. We get up here and talk for an hour and a half. I mean, we can free up 15, 20 minutes. If you guys want to take an hour, we really don't care, because what I do with this now, this is the big one. We got 50 plus people watching right now. We have a big platform. What better way of spreading the knowledge, spreading the wealth? You know, we're going to get up here and mainly talk about short porch. We're not going to talk about other bat companies. We're not trash other bat, because I think that's bullshit when guys get up there, and it's happened to this day, when guys get up there and they trash other bat companies. Somebody said something. I cracked an OG and 50 swings. Well, what OG was it? It was the first run. Well, yeah, we told you that bat was doing that, right? And then I said, can you send me a picture of the bat? And then I go back and he's with another bat company. He's sponsored by another bat company. Why the hell are you jumping on us? And you jumping on us and look, man, I don't know. It just comes on too fast. And then I don't have trouble. And then I don't have trouble with the voice, my voice being higher, your voice being lower. I don't have none of that. See, now I got to get repositioned now. All right. I was just talking to everybody, and I probably know you heard, but I was talking, and you're 1 minute early, I think.
I'm always early.
I was talking about going forward, about having a lot of these bat review guys out there, and talk about them. Like we talked about last week about Marcus, and getting him on here first next week. And then because I think that's something out there that a lot of people need to get into, and a lot of people need to, because here's the deal. We're never that company where we're sitting there and just pounding about short porch. We want to educate a lot of people about everything. So if you can get a lot of those bat review people on here and then talk to them and give them a little bit of a platform, you know, because I know there's enough to handle us for the next, 3 months, you know,
yeah.
And get up there and just talk, and then have the guys come back later on, you know, and then talk again, because they're always picking up knowledge. And I always thought this too, is why isn't anybody out there doing what you did? Why isn't anybody out there going after an Adam or going after a Marcus to actually put them on the payroll instead of doing reviews? Why don't you come here and start talking to our bats about us? Because that's an unbiased person that just came in, that has swung every bat out there. And you've talked to me about this when I got hired, was Dave. You've swung everybody out there and asking me the tough questions, you know.
Well, Dave, don't be giving everybody else the answers to the test. You know, you know. I'm not here to give everybody the answers to the test. I mean, we're pretty much an open book on the podcast, but obviously everything we've been doing has worked out for us, and you know, you're damn right. But I'm glad they haven't reached out and got Adam or Chef and did a lot of the things we have done. I got Blocker here. Blocker was hiding out from the ICE agents. He don't want to go back to Mexico, so we got him. We got him in the shop today. But Yeah, I mean, don't give them the answers to the test. You know, that's exactly what I said. Who has hit more bats than you on the senior side? No one that I know of, you know. So
Yeah,
um, as we were engineering and had our hands in all the materials and the raw material side, we needed somebody who had hit a bunch of had dealt with the finished products, and it was the perfect storm, you know, for
yeah.
us. But
Well, the
but
timing
if
was great. Yeah,
but I will say, if you're going to hire guys who have hit all the bats and have knowledge of finished products, you actually have to have an engineer who is making materials. You actually have to have that in your
yeah.
company to help you. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to adjust the bat. And I'm not going to get into all that. I mean, this is how we do it, and it sure as hell works out. You know.
Oh, I agree definitely. It's got to be a perfect storm. You've got to have the piece of the puzzle setting there, and then and like I talked to you about the beginning. I was just a link in the chain. That's all I was. You know,
Yeah.
uh,
Um,
and Kim, the timing had everything to do with that, though. Somebody
Yeah, I
big.
mean it was perfect timing, and here we are just past the 1 year mark, and it's easy to sit here now knowing that everything worked out perfectly and that Short Porches grew to the extent that it has for another year. So you know, hindsight's always 2020. And luckily for us, we don't have to look back and say we should have done this, we could have did that. It seemed like things worked out for us and our company. I'm grateful to everybody involved, and including, you know, nobody more than you, Dave. So, you know, thank you for a great year. And as we look to states and worlds and have the largest onslaught of manufacturing um, coming out into the market this summer, which is 4 times larger than last year. When you come on, is what we were looking at today. That says a lot. I mean, that says a lot for how far we come. I think anybody who said they can increase production 4 times the amount from the previous year, I think anybody would take that. Any company would take that. You know.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. And that was our goal last year. I mean, we already
Yeah.
knew what we're going to do this year and the things that we're going to introduce this year. So that was our goal last year, and we've achieved it. Actually, I think we've gone above it.
Yes,
I want
sir.
to talk before we get too far. I do want to talk about the analytics, and I talked about this before a little bit, but I was averaging, guys. Listen to these numbers here. My viewership and the ladies have taken through the roof because I like Jeff, because that's what I like about Short Porches. They all do these, you know, I think it's every 3 months, Jeff, that you do it. I know you do a monthly one and you do every 3 months, and you'll give us
Yeah.
analytics when we on the Zoom meetings, but on how we're getting better. I do the same thing when it comes to all of the social media on my side, you know, and I think that's something that we need what we're doing when we're doing this. But I'm looking at the numbers, and I did them last night a little bit too, because we started going. We're not stagnant, right? We haven't been stagnant when it comes to social media. We're putting different
Absolutely.
out there. But I averaged whenever I was, and I thought whenever I dropped from Senior Softball Bat Reviews, I went over to Short Porch, that I was going to drop at least 3,000 people. I did not. I actually dropped a couple of hundred, then I gained like 1,500 people that
That's right.
I gained from coming over to Short Porch. So I gained 1,500, and then my analytics, when I did gain, I wasn't getting those big spikes when it comes to review, because I was putting out a review once every 2 to 3 weeks. So I'd get that big spike when I put a review out, and it was really good. And then it would come down, right?
Absolutely.
And then the regular stuff, like the behind the scenes, was picking up 800, 900, you know. And then I came to where I was pulling in with our stuff. I was pulling in, let's say 6 months ago, 500 views a day, right? So 500 views a day, just watching us do little things, right? But when I introduced the shorts, right, that was a big I'm gonna give you a number, man. And that was really big because I introduced it about a week and a half ago, and it is blown up because what we found out was, and we talked about this too in the past, was what we found out when it comes to senior ball too. People don't want to sit in front of us for an hour and a half because then when you get them, they got to go through and find them, right? They got to go on the
That's
bullet
right.
points, the talking points. They got to go and find them. So we have this app that we put out there that actually divides them up. You got a small clip of 30 seconds to a minute and a half, and that's it, right? And then it adds stuff into it that actually puts you in a higher algorithm. So it's actually getting the word out a lot faster. We are pulling in, guys, 7,000 views a day. 7,000.
Absolutely.
So we went from 500 to 7,000 a day within the last 2 days because we're sharing on TikTok, we're sharing on Instagram. Well, was and then we're back at it now, but we're sharing on
Where?
uh, all these platforms. So yeah, definitely it's gotten huge, and the people want to know, the people are interested because like you said earlier, we are transparent. We do talk about a lot, not just bats, we talk about everything else out there too, why we decided to go with this bat. Why do we think it's better for these type of seniors to actually do? And like I talked about earlier too, was you know people need to separate because you brought this up last week and it was a great, very good point. Was we have the senior market, we know the senior market, right? So now the U-Trip market's different than the senior market, so you have different
Absolutely.
talking points when it comes to that.
Yeah, and the senior market, we were gonna start a USSSA podcast this week, but with the holidays and us giving our staff off here rest of the week this week, Leslie and I'll be here doing operations alone tomorrow, not handling any customer service, but taking mainly our large bat shipment um, of our surprise senior bat and our Roberto Minaya senior bat is coming in tomorrow. So we're going to be handling that and making sure everything is shipped out. Um, so we're going to wait on that till next week, but we've already started making moves on the USSSA side. You've seen it with our new guy coming on, that Brandon Murray's guy, Robert Taylor, who has been doing an exceptional job, who's a conference guy. We're going to be he's going to be one of the first ones on the USSSA podcast. We will be announcing there will be a military bat USSSA signature guy. I'm not going to announce that right here. I haven't had the conversation with him yet. Cage has. He's super excited. One of our guys. We'll be doing that for Military Worlds. I know Dustin Roberts was watching earlier. I seen on here he's the
Yeah,
military national director. We're going to be doing some bat giveaways at Military Worlds with Dustin. Dustin will probably be on your podcast here before Worlds or whatever. That's October. He's a San Antonio guy, right? A long haul
yeah.
bomber.
Actually,
Um,
I know Dustin. He got in contact with me about 8, 9 years ago. He just when he got off that bomber tour, and he was with Mikan, and I played ball with his dad, Al Roberts.
how about that?
I
Awesome.
played ball with his dad for years in the '80s, late '80s, late '80s, and great guy. Loved his dad. Hell of a ball player too. And that's how I got in with Dustin and talked to him. He's actually on my videos. He came out and hit with me over at the baseball field and hitting bombs. And really nice guy, hell of a guy. But I knew he was into that, military law enforcement area back then, or more military than was. He lived in Corpus Christi at the time, and he's from San Antonio. Yes, but great guy, great guy. I can't wait to have him on.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're gonna have our first USSSA signature bat, which will be of no surprise to everybody. But I'm not announcing that either. That'll be in about 2 weeks. That battle launch or be announced. I know you know who that is, and
Yeah,
he is somebody that we revere as a major influencer in the game. So we got a lot of cool stuff on the USSSA side. I know Clem's been working hard. trying to get the word out and hitting a lot of bats and showing them off on the lives, and we've been reposting it. And a lot of people across the country have been sending us videos as they show up more and more in the market. With us just being 1 year in the USSSA market, we're at the 1 year mark, a little over. And we're excited there. And the ASA went off with a boom, and with the Taxman bat. So we we are really trying to one step at a time, and grow as not just as fast as we can, but as efficient as we can, and not make a mistake,
Yeah.
along the way. When things are going good, the worst thing you can do is kind of make a misstep. And those little things happen, and we have to correct it and as fast as we can and move on. So we've we're having a lot of fun with it. I know you're enjoying your time. I think you've enjoyed your year with Short Porch, correct?
I enjoyed it. It actually, something. I actually tell people, and I'm not lying, I'm living a dream here, because when you've been working hard at something for as long as I have, and then you get rewarded at the end, but to work for a great company like we have now, and to actually be in on all the material and the bats and everything like that, and see what's going on from the outside, looking over your shoulder all the time, or asking questions, and I just came up. This was funny because I was in the house today, and I just had this thought process about a bat, on a better bat, and I wanted to run it by you actually tomorrow. But it was actually, what if we can do this? That's the exciting part. Like, because of bats that I've swung in the past, and thoughts that
Yeah,
I've had in the past, is let's try this one in a R&D, right? Because this is a thought that I had, and I've run it by you, and you say, hey, well, let's go ahead and just test it, see if it works, and we'll go by that. And usually mine is not material. Mine has a lot to do with the way the bat is constructed, right?
absolutely.
I didn't
Yeah,
do the material. You guys do the material. So that's how we were talking earlier about a perfect storm when we got together, that we can do this and put our heads together and bounce ideas off of each other. So this is just an idea that I thought about, that I would bounce off you. But I kind of said it, where I do a little memo, and I said something I need to talk to Jeff about. But what about the U-Trip bats, we are going to have guys, and we are going to have a lot more U-Trip bats and ASA bats in Vegas. So the whole time that we're there, because we're going to take them up in a trailer. So a lot of you 40-year-old guys that have that, a lot of you 40-year-old ladies that have that, that have that section there, that where they're going to be playing senior ball, can come over to our tent and talk to us about U-Trip bats.
yeah. I do have an announcement about one bat that we had moved the specs and made a decision, and will be surfacing as of today. Will be surfacing in Vegas as a senior bat, and that is the Oppo Taco. That is a bat. We were going to make a U-Trip. Whoever had won the contest said one of the guys said they were 40 this year and was going to be a senior guys. They seemed kind of bummed. We moved that bat to one of our senior models, and the Oppo Taco will come out in Vegas. The winner, which was the winning name of our bat contest, it is going into production with what we call our Vegas order.
Yeah.
And that's really a cool thing. And what a perfect time to do that, right?
Oh,
So
definitely perfect.
yeah,
Well, that's every year. That's the time where we put up all of our tech, all of our new tech, and this year's not going to be different. We need to not talk about it till it gets closer, but because we'll be here for another 45 minutes talking about the new tech that's coming. But the new tech that's coming out, that's where we introduce it, where people can come by and actually look at the new stuff. We'll have
yeah,
some, also, guys, we'll have some R&D bats there too. So I'll save some of those to take them there, so people can hit them whenever we're doing that demo day. And I would love to get as many dates we can on that demo day, but at least we get that first day in there and then maybe we can squeeze in some other ones later on. That way, everybody, that is a
We
part of. It's like a meet and greet. Like everybody that's a part of Short Porch that is in their different, age division can come out, or maybe they can come out earlier or stay late, kind of like what Clem and Trey did last year. They
absolutely.
came in early and they stayed late. Clem kind of cleaned it up at the end, kind of like a meet and greet that people could get together and talk. And we have demo days. That's all to the plus. A lot of these guys like Clem and Trey did hang around the tent and just talk to people, about different things, different bats, what better bat fits their swing, especially with the ladies. I know Rachel will probably be there too with her little group, her big
Yeah.
group actually. But yeah, that's
Rachel and Stacy. Brandon Murray said he may come like 10 days early if he can.
yeah,
He just mentioned that. Brandon being a huge presence in senior softball. I see it everywhere we go. Brandon is a presence, and people know him, and people more than anything respect Brandon. So, it's cool to have Brandon there. Any extra time we can, you know, um, anytime, Brandon can get away from his day job and come help us and support the brand and his signature series. Brandon's bat will be out ahead of the Vegas order. We will we will have it out a little bit ahead, and so he'll be there supporting if we have any left at that time. But
yeah,
um, you know, it's been good. But Brandon hit some bombs last week. He showed that we were out there. We got rained out, but we were out there at a kid ball tournament with some real good teams, and he was still the most powerful guy there. I mean, it's hard to be more powerful than him. So
well, he puts
it's
in the work.
fun to watch. Yeah, he
He
puts
does
in the
put,
work, man.
yeah.
Puts in the work.
And to be at that top, you said this, be at that top 1%, you have to put in to stay at that top 1%. You have to
You know,
put in.
yeah,
What are, go ahead.
to be that consistent for sure. But yeah, go
Okay.
ahead. Yeah.
The Roberto Manaya, what are the specs on his bat?
So
Somebody asking.
yeah, it is a 12-inch Spintech um bat, and that's a bat we have put in the market in a bunch of different versions, and everybody loves them. But the biggest thing is the Spanish writing on it, and it has the OG barrel under the Spintech. So as all our new tech coming out has switched, over to the new models. So I think people really love it. We're super excited to partner with Manaya and reach out to the Spanish community. And the Dominican Republic has the Dominican Republic, I guess, baseball team nickname on it, Platano Power. We will be showing that bat pictures and videos of that bat tomorrow. So it will launch sometimes next week, and we're just super excited about it. And I think um, I think Rob Peters, said it best, I guess, when he said Short Porch was about inclusivity.
Yeah,
And this is just one more way of us being inclusive and
yeah,
trying not to divide softball where there is a lot of division. We're trying to bring everybody together, from all branches and walks
yeah.
of life. So
That I agree 100%. And that's when we talked about getting a lot of the bat review guys on here because there is
yeah,
division against them,
yeah,
and because we do try to push this movement, and that was part of the movement. It just wasn't softness, hardness, barrel flex. It had to do with, hey, we're not talking about anybody else, and we're talking about Short Porch. We're not talking about anybody else here, and we're not trash anybody else. A lot of people have good
yeah.
product out there, So let's just have everybody get involved. And I think what better platform than ours, because we do have a really nice platform.
We do have the largest platform. Our Facebook page alone pulls in. We're up to 1.2 million views last month. And with our new system, hadn't been able to hook up to Dave's, so that's almost completely separate from Dave's, because we hadn't spent the little bit of extra time we need to get it hooked up on the podcast.
Yeah.
So at 1.2 million views, mostly all senior. If you look at the analytics, we are growing on the with the younger age group pretty rapidly, but it is still the largest senior platform in the country by far. And I would argue that if you put every senior softball platform together of everyone's, that we're still larger than them. And
I agree.
that's
That,
factual, guys.
that's
You know,
fact. Yeah, that is true.
factual.
I
And
agree. The
that's
deal,
the reason we are the number one selling senior bat company in the country. Um, we have the sales to back that up is because of our platform and our products. And that we promised when we went into USSSA and ASA, we would not leave the seniors behind. And as you know, as I went into USSSA, one of the first things I did was bring you on for us to hold the line and make everybody make it known that senior softball was so important to us. It was a big part of who we are and the direction we wanted to go in, that we wanted to be there and be there for the long haul, and I think it shows. So we're super excited and grateful for what we've accomplished and where we're going. And this summer is going to be a testament to just how far we've come. You know.
oh, I think it's like we talked about. And here's the deal, guys. When I get on the phone with Jeff, I get on a roll where I start almost like I'm preaching. And it's funny because I do it every once in a while, especially after I got through looking at the analytics today, and I start almost like I'm doing what is like a coach would do with a team, and I start talking about all this. I start talking about all this stuff, but that's funny that I do that. I kind of catch myself doing, I need to calm down. My wife's going, you need to calm down a little bit. You're getting way too into that, But yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, we are going into Vegas, and this is where we wanted to be going into Vegas. And I actually said this before in the past: is guys, we have an agenda. We have drop dates, right?
Yeah.
They might be off a little bit, but not by too much. We're never off 3 months on a drop date. We're usually off
No.
off a week and a drop date. But definitely the Roberto Manaya, I should have that next week to hit with.
Yeah,
And
so the Roberto Manaya, as you know, Cage was trying to pick those up today, and we didn't get them. We're going to have them tomorrow as the shipment landed in Savannah near our shipping facility here. And, I've been so busy, I haven't even talked to Manaya. I've been on the road and here or there and dealing with all the production increase that we've been doing. So Leslie and I have been, just wide open. And now that I'm playing with Brandon Murray's team, I have a little more responsibility as a player, which is something I guess you could call good or bad. I don't know.
yeah,
But I do have a responsibility to them to show up healthy and kind of be able to support my team that supports Short Porch, which is the Short Porch 50 Major Plus team, with Craig Mock as the coach and Brandon and Ron Yeager and all those guys across the board. Philip Edwards, just a lot of good guys, and I'll be on the ground with them and in Vegas playing also. So just talking to more people about Short Porch, and it's going to be a wild summer. It's just going to be a really wild summer. But I was looking today, I think, between now and October with ASA, USSSA, and possibly the baseball bats and things, we could have as many as 15 bat drops in the next 100 days. So that's
great.
that's a,
That
that's
that's with
a
everything.
that's a lot of stuff.
That's with everything.
Yeah, that's with everything,
Yeah.
So, and
Uh,
But I will say also, talking. I know you like to give a view from everything Short Porch has going in on stuff we were doing today. So we are working on our second generation bags that will be a far superior bags from our first generation. As we said, just like making bats, you don't get everything right the first time. And we are working on just when I say a badass surprise bag designs, that's coming. New batting glove designs that will be here for Vegas. Um, all kind of second generational improvement of not just our bats, but of our lines from bags to batting gloves to, and you've seen where our apparel has come, how far our apparel is
Oh,
improved. Yeah. So,
definitely, 100%. Well, it's caught on because of the design too. I mean,
yeah.
whoever's putting that all together, and I know Leslie's got a lot to do with that. Is it's the design everybody likes. I mean, when you have that logo that other people are trying to steal but haven't yet, but you have that logo that
The
we won't get it.
trademark, that's
Yeah,
B, the
trademark, yeah,
trademark short
which
porch. Yeah.
is, yeah, trademark. Everybody wants it. It's so nice looking, so they put it on their
Yeah.
own shit. But definitely uh, leaps and bounds going into Vegas on what we were last year.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we look for, not only senior worlds, but U-Trip worlds and military worlds, obviously. Cage is about to spend a week at the military U-Trip tournament, I think coming up in the next few weeks. I'll have to get Cage on the U-Trip-USA podcast to talk about that. He will be on hand with a tent. Um, it just Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of softball going on this time of year across the country, so we'll be everywhere we can be, I guess you'd say. And man, I tell you, it's hard not to talk about the surprise stuff we got, but we have some crazy surprises this year, Dave. And I know I know of several you don't even know about that we hadn't talked about yet because I didn't get to talk to you this afternoon. It just happened today. So later on, I'll tell you about a few of the surprises coming out after the next surprise that you got to deal with. So
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
we have a lot going on. It's a lot of fun, and man, we're gonna have a hell of a summer. When I say exciting ass shit at Short Porch, it is
Okay.
super exciting.
When Jeff
Mm,
when Jeff asked me earlier about how do I feel this time compared to last year, I've got a whole year underneath my belt. But I'm going to talk about something that I really enjoy doing, and I'm glad that Jeff, after he gets done swinging it with Christian and Cage up there, and then Alan gets some, and then he sends them to me. Alan with his group, will get some,
yeah.
and he sends them to me. Is the R&D. I think I'm not going to speak out of turn here when I say that those bats are going to be here tomorrow too, and they're going to come next
Yes,
week. Yeah,
yes,
yes. Okay.
yes,
So
yes.
guys, wait, don't because you like stealing my thunder, but I'm just going to talk about something. What I will say this is next week on the podcast that we do when we're doing live BP, there will be some bats that we're going to be hitting. We are going to be doing R&D on these bats, right? Because these are bats will be coming out in Vegas. They're going to be a surprise, and just they're going to be bats that we're going to be swinging. And tune in, guys. You can watch us swing it like we're going to be right in front of you. You're going to be doing R&D on these bats and just listen to us talk about these bats. We pretty sure know where they're going to be in that line of great stuff that's coming. And we'll be hitting them next week because I know he's going to get them tomorrow and he's going to send them out to us. So we might be getting them next Monday or Tuesday, and we'll set up our BP during that time where we'll get at least 2 BP sessions in by next week and be hitting them the whole time. Plus the Roberto Manaya, plus 2 other bats that actually one that we still have, which is the Senior Softball Bat Reviews bat, and then the OG. I've got a 28-ounce OG from the other day from you, and we'll be swinging that one too. Guys are asking about demo day in Vegas. Guys, we haven't not talked about that yet. Vegas is a
Sit
long
on the
ways
board.
away. We haven't talked about the demo days in Vegas. Those will be
Yeah.
when we start getting closer to Vegas, we'll be in contact with them. I know a lot of you guys don't even know where you're playing in Vegas, so there's no way that we can actually. Hopefully, it will be like last year, right before the start, and it will be at Big League Dreams because that's where we're going to be. So that would probably be the first one. After that, we don't know yet, or could we get a spot yet? The spot might after that, the spot might be anywhere from 8 o'clock in the morning. Usually they have league games there, right? So we're not
Yeah.
competing in the afternoon. So if anything, it'll be in the mornings during the weekday, and hopefully we can schedule it a couple of days or a day before you have the managers meeting. So that's basically what we're looking at. We'll let you guys know because right now we're just throwing Vegas in there ahead of everything. And we'll talk more about Vegas on bats when we're getting closer to Vegas. And then,
Yeah,
but
we'll announce that stuff. I mean, that's mid-September, so man, it's just barely July. So guys, all that'll be announced in August. Somebody's asking about the Wig Popper third anniversary. There is, of course, a Wig Popper third anniversary for Vegas. Dave has seen that he has seen that bat design. I will say Bat Flip BP did that bat design for us. It is the first bat design that has not been done by Short Porch. It was outsourced to Bat Flip BP. It is exceptional, and he did a great job. And we are going to be. And he did, that is the artwork. Bat Flip
yeah,
evidently does artwork. He's did artwork for some other bat companies before, and we needed a fresh set of eyes for our Wig Popper bat, and he did a good job. So that bat will be out. It is one of our Kevlar OG Tech base bats, and we're super excited about it.
we actually, guys, I don't know if I don't know if I should say this. There's something changed on that bat.
Yeah,
But we'll when we get closer, you guys will be able to see it. And when you see it, you're gonna understand why it was changed from what it was to what it is. What we
yeah,
did it because it's just not. If it's a different bat. It's not a different bat. It's the OG technology that's did something different to it, and we think that it's gonna maybe increase the performance a little bit. Especially you spinner guys out there. So. And it doesn't have a grip spin. So I'm just saying, it's something that
yeah.
we both like, and that was added to the bat.
We got a lot of cool stuff coming down the pipe, and things are always done as far as 6-8 months out. So it's hard to not talk about the stuff. Right now it's hard not to talk about the stuff coming out next year, even because it's all exciting stuff, and we do a wide range of things that takes a long time to hit the market.
Yeah.
And and that's in any manufacturing. When you're making stuff from scratch, it don't happen quick. So, but anyway, stay tuned because I'll tell you, watch Dave's live Tuesday morning. Because if you miss it, you're gonna be sorry.
So,
You're gonna want
so
to watch the live Tuesday. You
I'll
know.
um, I'll have those demo bats there,
Mm.
and the Manaya bat should be with me if the demo bats are with me. And
Yeah.
then, but yeah, just stay tuned to that live. That's probably going to be one of the biggest lives because I have a different platform I want to run off of it, guys. So that's going to probably one of the biggest lives we've ever done on Tuesday morning. I'm going to schedule it for Tuesday morning, and that'll probably be one of the biggest lives that we've done
Yeah.
when it comes to
And
that.
baseball bat. Somebody was asking about baseball bats. Bob was here. I mean, that's a behind Vegas. We expect when we come back to Vegas to drop the baseball bat as our new ASA 2-piece behind Vegas, and we are dropping in October also the military USSSA bat, and most likely the Wig Popper USSSA bat will be dropped during Vegas, just like we did last year.
Yeah,
So a lot of cool stuff, but I mean, we're talking ways out when we're even talking about Vegas. There's
Vegas.
so
Yeah,
many cool things coming ahead of that. Um,
you,
there's
you,
the USSSA DDT, the USSSA Spin Tech, There is another Allen Hancock signature DDT coming out way ahead of Vegas, that everybody loved last time, which was the 12.5 DDT.
Yeah,
All these things are to come. Mhm.
Nunez.
Yeah, Nunez brothers have a badass bat coming. A lot of these bats are already finished and on our way to our shipping facility. All will land in the next 14, 15 days. So we will be, as well as the OGs, because OG being the #1 selling bat in America, we're selling them like hotcakes as people hit them. Guys, we have our next shipment is finished. It is on the way. We will be shipping them as guys hit them. I mean, the craze has just it's been really, really great. So, grab you an OG. It's going to be shipping soon. Get that bat, get used to it for your state, your worlds, and you won't go wrong. It's a badass bat. We still have plenty of them on our site, and they are on the way to our shipping facility. This
Okay,
bat right here, you know,
yes, that
yeah.
bat is mine's put away, but that bat's
Mm,
hot as shit. It's the best bat that I've ever swung. Actually, I got a 28. You sent me a
yeah,
28 the other day, and I'm going to hit that on Tuesday morning too. But the one thing that me and you talked about the other day about the OG was a lot of people they got that first run in, right, and they
yeah,
swung it and they're like, okay, this is what it was, but a little bit more durability because we fixed that problem. But this without getting rid of the performance. So what a lot of people you can because of the way they've been talked to in the past, and a lot of them are new that come along, they don't understand. But when we talk to them and we tell them the truth, it's usually 100% of the time it's the truth. But I know they're scared, and I talked to you about this the other day because a lot of people out there have been burned in the past. But now what we see, guys, and that's why Jeff put that on the website right now is pre-orders, because you guys have got that first run of all them bats, and you're hitting them and going, okay, this is the same bat. Let's go ahead and order some more, and then we're going to get another run. I guarantee. I told Jeff this the other day. When we get close to these big tournaments coming up in the next 2 months, or get close to Vegas, you're going to get another run of those bats. And people they want them because we're
yeah,
going to. I would walk into Vegas with two of them. I always carry two bats walking
absolutely.
to Vegas anyway. I have my gamer and I have my backup, and I think that's the norm of what people in the past they want. They want two of that same bat. They want it in their bag, and then they will go into a big tournament that they're going to play in, and they can walk into either one of those. So yeah, definitely. And I think that's what we see in the market right now because of the demand that we're getting right now, because they've had those bats for the last 2 to 3 weeks in their hands.
Well, when you go out to the field and, when I seen last weekend and you see the short porch team, so you see the bats of choice and you see so many OGs and so many DDTs, there's a reason because it's the best 1 and 2 piece bats, around. And man, Ron Yeager was swinging the OG, and
I,
I've never seen him swing a 1 piece. So
yeah, I saw
he's
that
like
picture.
Jeff. He's like Jeff. I might be a 1 piece guy now. I'm
Yeah,
like, I bet, I bet. And
that,
Brandon Murray was always a 1 piece guy, never swung a 2 piece ever. And what's he swinging? The 2 piece DDT.
yeah,
David
change it.
Ireland
Yeah,
swinging the Dave
but hell,
Velasquez DDT.
so
you know,
what you're saying too, because it started with Trey. Trey was a two-piece guy. So
yeah,
he swings a wig popper, nothing but the wig popper, which is a 1 piece. So this will change you going up. The one thing I will say is a lot of people are asking me about weight distributions in that OG. And it's hard for me to talk about the weight distribution in the OG because it doesn't matter. And that's the first thing I've said about that bat that I've never said about any other bat that's weight distributed like that. It's like a counter load. It's like tremendous performance on that barrel with not that big of a sledge effect. That's the best way I can say it. I did move up in a 27 from a 26 that I usually swing, but I got great performance on the 26 too.
yeah.
So the weight distribution does nothing. Adding handle weight does nothing. You're not going to lose anything on that. And that's the first bat I've
Not
ever swung that does that.
when you have a barrel that good, you can
Yeah.
make a bat that swings that much faster. And then
Yeah.
if you get barrel performance and bat speed at the same time, I mean, you got something. And that's what we have here. You have a faster swinging bat that still performs. And that is very not normal, is what Dave's trying to get to say.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
that comes to the material that nobody's ever used before.
yeah.
So that's you can't you can't judge our bats when they're made with different material from everybody else. You can't look at them
Normal.
the same way when we're
No.
coming out with new tech. Um,
Yeah.
you
And
you know, I,
it goes against the norm, Jeff. And I've tried to
yeah,
tell everybody that it goes against the norm of what you've been taught for years. For with me for 15 years. So when I get a hold of one, I'm like, this shouldn't be doing that. From what I've experienced in the 15 years I've been doing this, but this bat shouldn't be doing this because I said last week on that podcast, I usually would do weight distribution. And I would tell you right away if this bat was going to perform or not. And I was 100% correct. I'm not with the short porch material right now. I'm not. I can't tell. Right now I get it, do weight distribution numbers, and I throw it in there to hit because I already know. I already know
yeah.
it's going because of the
Well,
material.
look at it this way: when you swung, what weight bat did you swing in 1989? Say,
29, 28 ounce bat. I mean,
yeah,
I swung,
there
yeah.
was no way a 26 ounce would have performed in that bat model, correct? You had to be in a heavier weight.
Let me say something here. No, but if you change the weight in that bat, like a lot of people did back in those days, and a lot of you guys are new, you guys don't know this, but what guys would do in the 80s, especially when they had a plug on it, they would change that weight distribution. So the only way to get a bat to perform back in the day is you'd have to do the shit yourself, not the way it would perform. Like the 30-ounce bat
Yeah,
back then, you can't get them. They're not like they are now. You can't get it.
yeah,
What it is right now is you can get with our material, you can get a bat that's a 25 ounce or 26 ounce. Okay, look at the 20. The furthest ball I hit, guys, listen to this shit. Furthest ball I hit was with what bat? A 25-ounce DDT orange juice.
yeah.
I
I've seen
hit
the same
it,
thing. One of the furthest balls I hit this year was with a 25-ounce orange juice.
yeah,
And
that
you
was the
couldn't
furthest.
do that with tech back in the day. You had to go
No,
up in weight and especially if you're hitting in a stadium. You're hitting in a stadium in the early 90s. You had to have I had to have a 29-ounce bat if I'm gonna hit that kind of distance. Because you needed that mass. What composites did in general was make you be able to go to lighter bats and get that distance.
yeah,
And now what we're doing with tech and even better materials overall is maybe you can go even lighter in the barrel. And that's where people are able to become better hitters and get the performance.
you just got on me about 30 minutes ago about too much information. Did you not? Did you not get up there and say, "Well, Dave, about the bat
Um,
reviewers"? Did you not say about the bat reviews? Yeah, we don't need them guys to do all this. And then what are you doing right now? What are
Don't
you
hire
doing
them guys.
right
Matter of fact, nobody watched this podcast. Nobody watched it.
No, yeah, they're going to be. Hey, I bet they're up there. I bet you have them. What do they call it? The decal stealers are up there writing this shit down. What did he say? Rewind that back. What did Jeff Kessler just say? That is funny, but I guarantee you they're doing it. Yeah, I guarantee you that shit they're doing it. So, but yeah, definitely the material. And I knew this when I came, and I said what the material that I saw and talking to you that little times because remember we didn't like each other before I came along. But that had nothing to do with you though. Had nothing to do with you. But what I did know
Man,
that
I didn't like you that much when I hired you. I hired you because you were good.
but now we're like brothers though. Now we're like brothers. The one thing I will say, one of the reasons is the way you guys think. One of the reasons is you don't use other people's material. You don't use other people's ideas, and you push the envelope. Is what everybody's seeing right now. Is the way we do a lot of things is outside the box. And I always thought outside the box when I started doing a lot of this stuff years ago. So I told I told you guys earlier. It's like a kid in a candy store when I get 6 demo bats to hit this next week, to find out, because I hear about how great they're going to be, and then we get to hit them on Facebook Live or on the big platform that we're going to run on Tuesday, and basically that's the part that I like. I have a group of guys that are going to hit anywhere from 50s with that higher bat speed to the 70-year-old guys, and I got 3 70-year-old guys that actually hit with us too. So that's the part that I like. That's the part that you gave me. That I've doubled down. I'm interested in softball again. Basically.
Man, it's we get to have a job that's fun, and not many people get to do that. I mean, let's face it, that's not reality for 99% of people.
No.
We get to come, and this is why Leslie and I wanted to get involved in finished products versus raw materials, because it's fun, and it's not fun to just make materials and not have a product out in the world, especially in recreation, like we are. It's just it's really, really cool, man. I'm just thankful we were able to pull it all together and come this far. But getting back to review, guys, I want to skip back because I want to talk a little bit about them guys, because one, Bat Flip just did us a solid and made us a cool bat design. Everybody obviously knows that Adam Fowler and myself do a lot of stuff together, and have put a few bats and things and balls. And we had the Fat Guy BP balls being sold at Smash It right now by Short Porch. We have the Fat Guy BP senior bats come out, and we do a lot of stuff together, and we talk a lot. And I've been talking to Chef a lot lately, and Chef's got some older hitters on,
I saw
and
that. Yeah, I saw that.
one thing I will say, or Big Ben or whoever else does bat reviews, I get a lot of messages from bat review people. I don't know who they are. Sorry, guys. I'm not in tune with softball like a lot of people are. You might want to reach out to Dave, because he knows a lot more across the country about softball than I'm not. I can't really follow it or watch it, but I will say one thing I learned, and to just to turn it back on me as owner of a bat company, when it comes to review guys and things they've done, and whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. And one thing I want to say to them guys is, and I wish I would have said it sooner, it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong. And, that has happened. And that's really not on them. It's their opinion. It don't mean it's fact. It is okay to be wrong about a specific bat. They get a lot of stuff right, but nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
We're not perfect as a company. Nobody's perfect as individuals. It's okay to be wrong about a product. You do the best you can. You give your opinion, and time will tell if you're right or wrong. And if time proves you wrong, it's okay, man. It's not nobody's fault. And that's one thing that I think we needed to do a better job at looking. Hey, it's okay for people to be wrong. They don't have to be right if they're talking about our product. They're just looking at it from the outside. They don't have all the technical stuff we have, to really. I mean, we have the equipment we have. These guys don't have. That's just reality of it. And the time with the bats, they do a lot of different bats. Sometimes 2, 3 in a day. They're not spending the time with them. We are. They can't know everything we know about our own products, you know. So them guys, they're just doing a service to the players, just like you did.
Yeah.
And you know, they should be commended for doing that, you know. So
Uh,
that's on us to look at, you know, kind of look at ourselves sometimes.
I agree 100%. And we need them. We need those guys out there that have been doing this for a long time. Big Ben reached out to me last week too, wants to come down and hit with us. He's out of Houston and
Yeah.
he wants to come down and hit with us. And I just got a little text from him last week. So Big Ben will be showing up one day and we're going to set something up with him. I wouldn't mind going in and out and hit with a lot of these guys too, you know, especially that Florida area. So that's another thing too, or just going out and just picking their brain and talking to them. But yeah, definitely they are. I think that what they do, they put up with a lot of shit. I mean,
They
I don't,
do. And
you
then
know,
when you have a company that comes along and they're way different in making bats, they're night and day from any other company out there. So if you're hitting 20 bats and they're all kind of made like this, and then you got something that's completely different and outside the box that's here, maybe you don't know how to look at it, you know,
yeah,
and that's you know, maybe compression didn't really matter as much, or compression numbers are way different because it's a different type of material. Maybe the weighting is real different because the bat tech is different. Maybe you have something completely wild like the DDT that nobody's ever seen, and you
yeah.
don't even, you hit it and you're like, shit, this is
Are
wild. I
you?
don't know.
Yeah. Are
Yeah, and
you
I'm
hitting?
hitting three other bats in the same day, and then you hit the DDT.
Which is totally
It's
different monster and swinging.
totally different
You can
bat than anything ever
you
made.
cannot hit 5 bats and then pick up the DDT and expect to hit that bat 30 swing. Trey Roberts says this. Clem says
You
this.
can't do it.
It takes a little longer to get used to that DDT, but once you get used to it, it's like night and day with the other stuff. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's incredible.
we saw that. You know, and Trey actually knocked. Trey tells everybody that swings the DDT, it's going to take you a little bit to get used to it,
Takes
but you
you a
just
little
keep it.
bit, but if you get to hitting it, like
Oh
David
yeah,
Ireland has now switched over to it, who's always been a one piece guy. Brandon Murray, who's always these guys have one piece signatures that they love. They're hitting the DDTs. Why? They have every short porch bat. Why are they hitting the DDT? They say
it's
it's the
that
best bat for them.
it's
You
that
know,
new thing. It's that new stuff that we came out with that actually works. You know,
it works. Yeah, it works. And it is way different from any other bat. So, you know, and time has kind of told by the players or how great these products are. And that in turn, you know, sales show everything. And when the players are hitting the bats and buying them at the rate they are, I mean, that's the undeniable line of truth.
well that
We can say everything in the world, bat review guys can, opinions can, sales across the year tell the truth, and
yeah
bats going for resale speak the truth. When you have OGs going for $700, you can't fake that, man. You
yeah.
know, you can't fake when people
Well,
are paying $400 for your original DDTs for January like they are now. Um, I mean, it is what it is. You
yeah.
know.
What
Mm.
bat reviews the same thing as what we're doing when it comes to that aspect. They can give their opinion. You said that only time will tell, right?
The
So
only
you bring
time will tell.
you and like when I would do reviews, I would hope I got it right. But only
Yeah.
time will tell if that review actually worked. Like 6 months down the road, I actually said that when reviews 6 months down the road after the first initial review is I would either get criticized or I would be say, hey, Dave Velasquez was right. Senior softball
Yeah.
bat review was right about this bat because look at everybody swinging them right now. Well, the same thing when we put out a bat out. We know what we know what we built. We're not going to put a shitty product out there. We know what we
Yeah, we
we
know.
know it's better than the last one, but only time will tell if it catches on. The only time will
Yeah.
tell. We got to give people a chance to swing it. We can't shove it down their throat. Best bat I ever swung right here. This best bat we ever had. It's best bat. You know, we got to give it to them. Tell them our opinion on it. It's the best bat Short Porch has put out. Not the best bat ever. You know, this best bat put, which I've said that too about the OG. I will say that. I kind of
Best
misspoke.
bat I ever hit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. But that's the only one I've said it about, right? So I
Yeah.
love the DDTs. I love the orange juice because it fits my swing. I do like that.
The
Z
DDTs are exceptional, you know, and
Z was hitting the DDT last week in California. So our girl
it's
Z was hitting the DDT orange juice last week, and she swings the OG. She got 2 of them in her bag. But for her consistency or base hits with that DDT was up there. So she stayed with that bat. And the performance was there for her too. So it's just a crapshoot whenever, you know, we're throwing stuff out there. We're talking to you, but only time will tell. And we think everybody with Short Porch got together that we think the OG is going to be here for a long time. And there's going to be
yeah.
returns, people asking about them more, you know. And here's another thing too. We're not getting cracked bats returned to us in the heat. So,
I
and the
haven't heard. It's been a long time since I've heard of anybody calling in here and saying they cracked the bat. And saying it was early or anything like that. It's been months at this point. You know, that's a winter thing. That's just a winter thing. It's not really a summer thing. You
yeah,
know, so, you know, you'll get one a day in January, but you don't hear about
no,
it in the summer.
yeah, I wanted to bring that up because I think, and I've said this for years, is the majority, and I said this last year to you, the majority of the cracked bats going from November, December, January, February, March, you know, you get into that March, you know, and then up north, they're really rampant where guys will be taking out a bat they just bought that they heard us talk about or heard somebody else talk about it. And they start, I got to swing it. I got to swing it, you know, and they get out there and they crack it. And they're like, oh man, like, and now they call us and go, well, I cracked it and it was 75 degrees. How many times you heard that? I cracked this bat at 75 degrees. And we go back and look, where are
Winter,
you from?
all
Where you
winter.
from? Yeah.
Yeah,
We do check to see what how cold it was there. Just to let you
yeah.
know, we do check
We
that.
get it all. We get it all winter, and we realize how you know how tempting it is to go out there in 55-degree weather. I like going out there and hitting in 55-degree weather. We realize how tempting it is to go out there and hit 500 balls in 55-degree weather. And if you're going to do it with a senior bat, then you're going to lose money. That's what I can tell you. You
Yeah.
know, don't do it.
You're gonna
You know,
damage it. If it
get
doesn't
you one
crack,
of these bad boys right here, because I promise you, it will hold up. It has a warranty. If you do break it, you can send one back. You know, so
yeah,
don't hit the senior bat in the cold. You know, so you know, Bob was just saying he's always yelling. He's up there. It's pretty cold, and you know, I mean, that's typical for every bat company. I talk to everybody. So yeah, you're just gonna hear about the guys whine all winter about the bats breaking in the senior market, and then it gets summer, and you won't hear one. You know,
no,
so
not one of
and
them.
that's what.
Talk
Yeah,
about it.
not a one, but normal stuff. But man, a lot of stuff coming up the next few weeks, and just you know, just stay tuned for Short Porch next week. Huge announcements. Um, it's going to be a fun couple weeks. So we'll have some big announcements next week. USSSA senior across the board over the next few weeks, the next 3 months, really. It kind of all begins when we come back from the 4th of July holiday. So,
Definitely. So stay tuned. We're not hitting tomorrow. We were going to hit tomorrow, but it rained pretty bad here in San Antonio today. So we got puddles on the field, and Clem doesn't get off vacation till Saturday. So I know he's going to be chomping at the bit. He actually, this is how bad Clem is. He came in town. He's on vacation with his family. He came in town like 2 days ago and stayed for 24 hours. And what did he do? He's at the ball field hitting the U-Trip market here in San Antonio. So he went straight out with his military guys to hit those U-Trip bats. And that's what he did whenever he came back. And then now he's back out. Him and his family are out visiting the United States. So he'll be back in on
yeah,
Saturday. No, he's want to get back at it again next week, Tuesday and Thursday, I think, is what we're going to schedule it at. Maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, depending on the weather. But yeah,
yeah,
I know my guys are calling me every day. Let's hit. Murray wanted to hit tomorrow, but again, the weather is just too bad, and I don't like hitting and when it's wet outside. It just tears the balls up, and I don't have a lot of balls to begin with anyway, so I'd have to be calling you for more balls. So
Yes. The, he can now fit his wife in the front seat because he ran out of some balls, because the whole truck bed and the front and back seat were full of balls, and she couldn't go with him to the park to hit. So now
yeah,
that's why Tammy's on the videos hitting, because he's down to a little spot. Luckily, she's small. She can get in the truck with all the bags of balls and the back of the truck full of balls. So
I'll tell you what, that's not a lie, because I had
I've
7 bags
seen
of balls. I
I've
had
seen
7
it.
bags of balls. 6 would be in the back seat, and 1 would be in the front seat. So yeah, he's right. Now I'm down to 6 bags of balls. I'm telling Jeff,
Well,
you need to send me some.
yeah,
Yeah,
I might send you some, but you do know we had a record month selling balls, our largest month ever selling balls this month. So
yeah.
it's
We talked about that today, or was it today or yesterday? It was today.
yeah,
Talked
yeah,
about
man.
record sales.
We had a huge month selling. We sold 12 pallets of softballs, which is is a lot of balls. And man, we're still trucking them out every day.
Well,
But
you know what I think that has a lot to do with too is the weather. I think when you get in that 100-degree, 95-degree weather, people want those
yeah,
balls because they're rated at 100
absolutely.
degrees.
Yeah,
And I
you
think
need to
this
hit
time of
better
year,
balls.
yeah,
Yeah,
you need to hit.
yeah,
And like I talked about last week, that's always been the draw. I don't give a shit who you are in softball, in any kind of softball. It's always been who's got the best bat out there and who has the best balls all the time. You don't want to walk into a tournament knowing that you're going to hit a shitty ball,
no,
because it's just not fun. I'm not saying, guys, 525 compression balls. I'm just saying what's allowed to hit in senior softball, 44 375s. You want a ball that actually performs at a 44 375 under the heat, right? At that higher compression. That's the only thing we ask. And that's across the board that I got with the last, 42 years I've been doing this. Been playing for 45 years, 44 years that I've been doing this.
yeah. I mean, 70 and below, you can hit any ball almost. I mean, it's going
Yeah.
to be okay with the senior bats. Um, It'll hurt you a little bit maybe with the U-trip bats, but you can about hit any ball. But when it starts warming up, you need the better balls that are out there, called our balls or another companies that has top tier balls. You need to be hitting them, or
Yep.
yeah, it's going to be a struggle, unless you're a Brandon Murray, and you can just
Yeah.
hit the shit anything. It don't matter, But
Yeah.
yeah, man. Um, what what about tournaments coming on, man? What do y'all have going on? Is Clem, Trey, are you playing? Any of you guys playing coming up?
Well, I haven't been released to play yet. I've been doing a lot of hitting. My shoulder's gotten better.
Yeah,
I actually got a better insurance because I got on Medicare, and I with man, I think it's Humira, so I can get an
yeah.
MRI, and I don't have to fight with a doctor to give me a referral. So that's what I've been going through for the last 3 months.
Been a
I had
while.
a shoulder in January, and
Yeah,
they're telling me what they think it is. I saw the doc 2 days ago. He set me for MRI. I just got to schedule it now, so I got to go in and
good,
get
good.
MRI. But then again, I can hit. I lift weights. I've gotten it stronger. I did my own rehab to it, and I've gotten it stronger. So I'm just waiting. Maybe I can catch on with the team, or maybe my old team at the end of
Mhm.
the year, and go to, because I'm still in with them, which is Rocky Mountain Thunder. Those guys up in Colorado, I'm still playing with them. But if I can hook up with a team at the end of the year, I'll go help them out. I haven't tried to throw though, and it's in my right shoulder, so I haven't tried to throw anything.
Yeah,
And I think it's either a rotator. He actually thought it was a labrum tear the other day too, or a rotator rupture on the top. So because there's some strength I don't have in this one area. So other than that, I can still hit. I'm hitting pretty good now. So at least I can help somebody in that 65 area
hell yeah,
that is
hell
going
yeah, you
to
can.
Vegas. If not, what I want, if I do have to have the surgery, I'm going to do it at the end of the year. I'm going to do it right after
Yeah,
Vegas.
that's me. Yeah, the same thing. I plan on having surgery behind Vegas, not before. So
Yeah.
I won't miss. So I won't miss any time unless it just gets to a point to where I can't play at a high enough level. Then I'll go ahead and do it. So I think a lot of people do that. I think they wait till after Worlds to have surgery in senior softball.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
actually taking all kinds of stuff right now to get him through this year.
Yeah.
You know, I get phone calls every other day on all this new stuff that's out there. You know, the BPC
Mhm.
157 that I actually do agree with 100% that everybody that has any kind of injury needs to be on. Just get on some good quality BPC 157. Do your
Mhm.
research on it. It's big now. BPC 157 is huge right now on people that
That's
has
awesome.
had injury, especially when it comes to seniors. Just new alternatives, different alternatives. It's just not taking a shot all the time, you know, or just getting on these painkillers because that'll tear your. You don't want to get on that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Depending on that shit.
I agree. Real
But
bad for your body. Stay off painkillers if you can. Real bad for you.
Trey,
Not going to
Trey,
work out in the long run.
oh yeah, it won't. It's actually going to kill your
Mhm.
body. Trey's got some tournaments coming up. I know they're heavy and hard into it. That powerhouse team that he's with,
Mhm.
50s major, I think they're playing. And then you have Clem, who is actually getting. You know, he's playing a lot. I think they played tournaments before they left, and when they get back, they're going to hit it hard again. And then you know Murray's everywhere. Murray is playing with like
Yeah.
six different
That's what
divisions.
Murray does. Yeah, I
Yeah,
seen Murray in PCB. He was killing it over there. Um, over here on our end, I know we got um Sean Thompson has a BSC team going to Dalton coming up. I don't know who all Sean has it from the short porch world, but I was going to go up there and play with him, but Brandon, our team was playing, so I couldn't be in both places. Um, we're playing in Tampa next weekend. Christian and Allen and them's team is in Tampa, so I'll get to see some of them guys. I'll get to meet Rob Peters in person for the first time. I'm excited about that.
yeah.
They have a wide range of pretty good players on their team. So it's going to be real good, man. I'm excited for all the tournaments coming up and all the players that I'll get to see out there. I know Stacy's playing here and there everywhere. Um, I hadn't talked to Cindy up in her neck of the woods and all they got going on, but I need to reach out. I know Rachel's got been playing a lot of ball. I've seen some pictures of their team.
Yeah.
Really good looking short porch uniforms, by the way, Rachel. And the girls look really good out there playing. So anyway, just thank everybody. I wish me and you could be everywhere. That's just not the reality of a national company, is it? So
Yeah, not right now. Maybe next year after. Maybe we can do something when
do a
it
little
passes.
tour. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're here's the deal too. We're busy building bats. You know, we can
Yeah.
do the tour later when all this, all this stuff takes off, which it is right now. But you don't want to leave the shop in the middle of everything right now, especially when you have this demand for bats that we have right now and balls. So you just
Yeah.
I'm happy doing this. We'll see everybody in Vegas anyway. If not in Vegas, then we'll see them somewhere else.
We'll see most all these people in Vegas, and I'll see people here or there across at all the tournaments that I can, or that I'll be at with Brandon and them. So, and the biggest thing is, guys, send us videos, send us pictures, text us, let us know what's going on out at the parks. I know Rick Dush, his team, he has a 40s team out of Arizona, their short porch team. They actually have a hitter in the short porch home run derby there. Man, they reached out to me about it, and but I can't be everywhere. I didn't know them guys as well as I wish I did. I know Rick's a great guy and a big promoter of short porch, as Brad Bell and his team. He has a 40s team out in the Midwest. There's so many short porch guys across. Y'all guys, y'all reach out to Dave or Christian. If you can't get me, y'all let them know what y'all have going on. Let them know where you're playing. Send some pictures, some videos. We're here to support you. And we just, the country is so big. It is really
Here,
so big.
here's the deal,
Yeah.
guys. And I'm going to tell you this, guys, because I deal with this too when it comes to Jeff. Is he's building bats. It's hard to get a hold of him, or hard for him to answer the phone. For one, he's either I know in the afternoons he's on the phone with China every night, and if he's not, he's on the phone with FedEx or UPS trying to find out where our stuff is at, right? And then giving everybody updates. And then he shows up in the morning early in the morning at Short Porch, he starts his day all over again. So guys, it's so hard for him to actually answer everybody. And don't get mad because you say Jeff's not answering your phone calls, which I've never had that anybody ask me that, but I think they really know. People know that you're busy, and it's hard to get away when you're working on this
Yeah.
problem to get away and get on the phone and then start talking to somebody about why is your weight distribution number not this, and can you please explain that to me. I mean, you got Cage, you got Erica, you got Christian, you got me, that you can
Yeah.
actually talk. I talked to a ton of people all the way through. Last night, 12 o'clock at night, I'm texting somebody that's in California. So it's 10 o'clock in California, and they're just getting ready to wind down. It's 12 o'clock here. I'm like, okay, I just got to answer this real fast. And I put my phone on mute because it would go up all night long. It would just go off. But Jeff can't do that no more. It's we've gotten that big. You guys seen the numbers that we put out there. We've just got the words getting out, and everybody wants to know. Everybody wants to know. So,
Oh yeah, man. It's like I said, it's just a big world out there, and we are dealing with a bunch of countries and a wide range of softball going on right now across the country. I just wish I knew more people personally, especially when they're supporting the brand. But I guess that's not reality anymore. But it's man, I'm real proud of everybody and what they're doing out there.
what at Vegas, that's the time to do it because we've already
Yeah,
done. Every bat's out. We're not on the
yeah,
phone with anybody. So come by the tent in Vegas. You meet and greet. A lot of our reps will
yeah,
be there. I talk to them. A lot of the signature guys will be there depending on what day that you're going to play. Come by and talk
yeah.
to us. Pick our brain in Vegas. That would be the best time to do it.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, yeah,
And
last year.
you'll have Todd and Sarah there who are very knowledgeable about everything short porch. Dave will be there, Christian. So you'll have a wide range of people coming in and out every age group from Clem to Trey to, Bob Downs, man, what a great dude. Rachel, Stacy, you'll be able to find a short porch person in Vegas for sure. If you're at U-Trip Worlds, you'll be able to find a short porch person there also, I promise you.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. 100%.
well, get off here as soon as you can. I'm gonna let you get to it. Call me when you get off. I got some news that you'll want to hear.
All right, buddy.
All right,
Thanks
thanks,
for
Dave.
coming on. All right, guys. Like I said, we're going to keep you guys updated. I mean, we had a great group of guys coming on tonight. We're going to keep you guys updated on what's coming. And again, there is some next week we're hitting R&D. We're hitting the Roberto Manaya bat, and stay tuned next week. We're going to have a big hitting and a lot more talking. That's another thing too. I've got this little clip I'm going to put on where I can actually pitch and talk at the same time because I pitch BP. I'm in the Hall of Fame. Look it up. I'm at Hall of Fame for BP pitching, USSSA, ASA, Texas Hall of Fame. Look it up. That's all I do is pitch. I've done it all my life. And look it up. I'm in the Hall of Fame. I got my Hall of Fame rings for BP pitching. So look that up. And then you guys, I have to get involved with pitching again. So I got a little, Leslie, thank you. I got a little microphone. I can sit up there and pitch and talk. So I think that, and who got me onto that was Leslie got it for me, but Clem and Trey do that. And I think it's amazing. And you'll hear a lot of talking in these next videos coming out when it comes to where us guys hitting BP. I can talk to the guys a little bit more better too, and you guys can hear them. That was the biggest thing is we can't hear you guys when you're hitting the BP. So maybe, and we get a lot of people 9:15 in the morning that are showing up. But guys, stay tuned. We got a lot of good shit coming out. And thanks for tuning in.